Addressing Disproportionality in Special Education Discipline, facilitated by Dr. Timothy Gadson. Welcome to Addressing Disproportionality in Special Education Discipline. In today's session, we delve into the significant consequences of disproportionality, examine the most effective practices for monitoring it, and share essential resources that support equitable disciplinary strategies. My goal is to equip teachers and school leaders with the necessary insights and tools to confront and prevent any disparities in student discipline proactively. By the end of our time together, you'll be better prepared to ensure fairness and equality are at the heart of your educational practices. Disproportionality in student discipline refers to the higher rates at which students from certain racial or ethnic groups and those in special education programs face disciplinary actions, such as suspension and expulsion, compared to their peers. This inequality impacts academic achievement negatively and increases the likelihood of these students becoming involved in the criminal justice system, thereby widening achievement gaps and perpetuating systemic inequalities within the educational framework. To address this, it's crucial to regularly collect and analyze discipline data disaggregated by race, ethnicity, and disability status. Identifying disparities allows schools to implement effective, evidence-based strategies to promote equitable discipline practices. Moreover, providing educators with training and professional development, adopting culturally responsive classroom management approaches, and integrating restorative justice practices are essential resources that support the establishment of fair and inclusive disciplinary systems. These measures help ensure all students are treated justly, fostering a more supportive and productive learning environment. Disproportionality in student discipline, especially within special education, casts a long shadow touching every aspect of affected students' lives. When certain students are disciplined more harshly or frequently than their peers, the repercussions extend beyond the classroom. These students, often from marginalized groups, tend to show lower academic achievement and higher dropout rates, a clear indicator of the academic impact of such disparities. But the effects are not just academic. The emotional toll is significant, with many experiencing heightened anxiety, depression, and a profound sense of alienation. These challenges can follow them beyond their school years, narrowing their future opportunities and limiting their potential for higher education and career advancement. Furthermore, increased disciplinary actions correlate with a higher likelihood of these students entering the criminal justice system, a pathway known as the school to prison pipeline. This not only perpetuates educational inequalities, but also erodes trust among students, families, and the wider community, as the fairness and effectiveness of the educational system are called into question. Financial implications are also a concern. Schools noted for high discipline rates may face cuts in state or federal support and might incur increased legal costs from disciplinary disputes. This complex web of consequences highlights the urgent need for schools to adopt equitable discipline practices that genuinely support all students. When it comes to discipline, understanding and adhering to legal frameworks is not just important, it's essential. Laws like the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, or IDEA, and the Every Student Succeeds Act, or ESSA, set the stage for how disciplinary actions should be handled, particularly for students with disabilities. IDEA requires that such measures provide for a free, appropriate public education, or FAPE, and respect the least restrictive environment, or LRE, principle, ensuring that students with disabilities continue to receive quality education even in disciplinary scenarios. Similarly, ESSA emphasizes that all students, including those with disabilities, deserve a high quality education and urges states to reduce the occurrence of disciplinary actions that exclude students from classrooms. Adhering to these laws not only supports equitable educational opportunities, but also safeguards students' rights. Every student, regardless of race, disability, or background, must be subjected to disciplinary measures fairly and equally. This includes respecting their right to due process, ensuring students and their families are informed of specific charges, can present their case, and have the ability to appeal disciplinary decisions. By ensuring fair and equal treatment in disciplinary measures, we uphold the principles of justice and equality, fostering a safe and inclusive learning environment for all students. Moreover, the ethical dimensions of these laws compel educators to view discipline not as a punitive measure, but as a constructive tool to guide students toward better behavior and educational outcomes. Failure to comply with such standards can have severe consequences, including legal actions, loss of public trust, and potential cuts in funding from state and federal sources, underscoring the importance of legal compliance in maintaining the integrity and effectiveness of educational institutions. Effective monitoring of disciplinary practices is vital for ensuring equity within our schools. By conducting regular, systematic reviews of disciplinary data categorized by race, ethnicity, and disability status, schools can ensure all students receive fair treatment. This data and reporting transparency fosters trust and accountability within the school community. Identifying trends of disproportionality is crucial. By analyzing the data, schools can detect if certain student groups are disciplined more frequently than their peers and investigate the underlying causes. Once these patterns are identified, developing and implementing targeted corrective measures is imperative. These strategies are tailored to address and rectify any disparities uncovered during the analysis. Addressing disparities in disciplinary practices doesn't conclude with implementing solutions. It's crucial to continuously assess the effectiveness of these measures and make adjustments as necessary to optimize outcomes. Furthermore, providing staff with training and support on data interpretation and fair disciplinary practices is essential for maintaining a bias aware environment. Engaging parents and community members in discussions about disciplinary data is not just a means to enhance community trust, but also a way to ensure that diverse perspectives are considered in decision making processes. By involving all stakeholders, schools can create a more inclusive and supportive environment that caters to the needs of every student. Fostering a positive school climate and effective discipline requires more than traditional methods. It calls for a proactive, inclusive approach, emphasizing prevention, understanding, and community. One such approach is positive behavioral interventions and supports, or PBIS, designed to prevent problematic behaviors by teaching and reinforcing positive ones. PBIS operates on principles such as clearly defining behavioral expectations, actively teaching and modeling them, and rewarding students for exhibiting them. It involves continuous data collection and analysis to monitor effectiveness and inform decision making. Many schools have successfully implemented PBIS, significantly reducing disciplinary issues and creating a more harmonious learning environment. Alongside PBIS, restorative practices offer a powerful tool for building healthier school communities. These practices shift from a focus on punishment to repairing harm and restoring relationships. Restorative practices encourage accountability, foster empathy, and promote mutual understanding by facilitating dialogue and problem solving among those involved in disciplinary incidents. Another critical component is culturally responsive teaching, which respects and incorporates the diverse cultural backgrounds of all students into educational practices. Culturally responsive teaching enhances engagement by valuing and integrating students' cultural references and experiences into the curriculum. It helps prevent behavioral issues by creating a more inclusive and affirming learning environment. PBIS, restorative practices, and culturally responsive teaching form a holistic framework for managing student behavior. They emphasize prevention over punishment, understanding over judgment, and community over isolation, helping schools move toward a more supportive, effective, and equitable model of student discipline. Ongoing training and professional development are crucial for equipping educators with the skills necessary to navigate the complexities of modern classrooms. A core and urgent component of this training involves cultural competence, where educators learn to understand and respect cultural differences. This understanding is vital as it influences student behavior and classroom interactions. Training programs must focus on developing strategies to foster inclusive classroom environments that acknowledge and celebrate all students' diverse backgrounds, thereby enhancing learning experiences. Effective classroom management training also provides educators with practical techniques for managing classrooms effectively. This includes implementing positive behavioral interventions and supports, PBIS, which focus on reducing the need for disciplinary actions by promoting and reinforcing positive behaviors. Another critical area of professional development is understanding the legal responsibilities associated with student discipline. Educators must be trained on key legal frameworks such as the Individuals with Disabilities Act, IDEA, and the Every Student Succeeds Act, ESSA, which governs students' rights and school responsibilities. This training should ensure staff are well versed in compliance requirements and understand the importance of due process rights in disciplinary situations. This is crucial for preventing legal issues and ensuring fairness in disciplinary actions. Through such comprehensive and ongoing training, educational institutions can ensure their staff are competent in teaching and managing diverse classrooms, knowledgeable of legal standards, and committed to promoting equity and fairness in education. Emphasizing the role of community in shaping school disciplinary practices is crucial for fostering a fair and supportive educational environment. It's not just about engaging families and the broader community in open and ongoing dialogues, but it's about recognizing their role as active contributors to school and district policies. By actively involving parents and guardians and community members in discussions about the school or district's disciplinary policies, schools can ensure a broader understanding and support of their practices. Regular communication through meetings, newsletters, and updates on school websites help keep everyone informed about procedural changes and their reasons. Transparency is further enhanced by explaining the criteria and processes for making disciplinary decisions. All stakeholders must understand how and why certain decisions are made and that they have access to data about disciplinary disparities. Sharing this information openly not only makes the disciplinary process more transparent, but also more accountable. Building trust goes hand in hand with promoting transparency. Schools show their commitment to fairness and equity, not just in words, but through consistent actions, policy adjustments, and open lines of communication. Schools can create a sense of communal responsibility and trust by fostering an environment where feedback is actively sought, valued, and acted upon. Moreover, addressing issues like disproportionality and discipline requires a collaborative approach. Schools should work closely with families and community organizations to develop effective strategies for reducing disparities. Forming advisory groups that include diverse community representatives can also play a crucial role in policy formation and reform, ensuring multiple perspectives are considered in the decision making process. Together, these efforts promote transparency, building trust, and foster collaboration not only to improve the fairness of disciplinary practices, but also strengthen the overall community's investment in the success of its students. As we proceed with this session on assessing and improving our disciplinary practices, I encourage you to take a moment to pause the video now. Use this time to reflect on the current practices at your school. Consider their fairness and consistency across all student demographics. Identify any disparities and evaluate how well these practices align with the principles of equity and transparency. Once you understand clearly, think about one area you'd like to improve. Outline a simple step to initiate this change and set a realistic goal for its implementation. Please take as much time as you need for this reflection. Jot down your thoughts, ideas, and strategies you plan to implement in a notebook or a journal. When you're ready, restart the video with more insights and how to work toward more equitable disciplinary practices in our schools collectively. As we conclude our session, let's recap the essential steps and strategies we've discussed to combat disproportionality in school discipline, which significantly impacts students' academic and emotional well being. First, it's crucial to understand the depth of disproportionality's impact and recognize our responsibility to uphold legal and ethical standards, including compliance with IDEA and ESSA and other pertinent regulations that protect students' rights. Regular monitoring and transparency in disciplinary practices are essential. By consistently reviewing and analyzing disciplinary data, we can identify trends of disproportionality and take informed steps to address them. This openness not only helps, it rectifies biases by also strengthening trust and accountability with all school stakeholders. Training staff in cultural competence, legal responsibilities, and effective classroom management is critical for fostering an environment of fair and effective discipline. Also, involving families and the community in developing and reviewing disciplinary practices ensures these policies are well understood and supported, creating a collaborative atmosphere. Moving forward, it's important to identify specific areas in your school's disciplinary practices that need improvement. Develop actionable plans tailored to these needs and set clear goals for reevaluating the effectiveness of these changes, making adjustments as necessary. Finally, I urge you to prioritize equitable decisions in discipline in your school. Use today's insights to inspire and drive changes in your educational environment and the way students are addressed. Remember, creating a fair and supportive school climate is about improving students' outcomes today and fostering their success for years to come. If you found value in this presentation, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. Stay updated with upcoming sessions on my channel, and let's enrich our journeys together. Please take some time to explore some of my blogs for additional resources and insights. The URLs are shown here.